Okay, so you may have just received a notification at the top of your screen to let you know that this webinar is now being recorded. If you do have any colleagues who you think may benefit from watching this webinar about the funding in 2021, please don't hesitate to pass this on. We will be sending out a reminder email with links to these recordings in the coming days. So to start us off today, just a few bits of housekeeping. So please do make sure your microphones remain muted throughout the presentation, and also please do keep your cameras off. This will allow the visuals to come through nice and clearly for everyone watching along. If you do have any questions at any time, please don't hesitate to pop them in the chat bar. Whenever you think of them straight away, pop them in there and we can get to them at a few different times during the presentation. And finally, as I mentioned before, this webinar will be recorded so that you can watch this again at any time or pass this on to your staff or colleagues for them to watch as well. We would like to begin today by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands on which we meet and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Okay, so today I am very, very lucky to be joined by Liz White, who is the statewide swimming coordinator from the Department of Education and Training, also known as DET. My name is Caitlin Greenhill and I'm a project officer for the Swimming and Water Safety Education team, mostly targeting schools at Life Saving Victoria. And we may have some of our fellow team members from the Swimming and Water Safety Education team jumping on the chat today to help answer our questions as well. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Liz White, who will talk us through the Swimming in Schools funding in 2021. So Liz, if you are there, if you could please unmute your microphone, if you wish, pop on your camera and we will go through the presentation.
Thanks, Caitlin. Hi, Helen. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for joining us today. As Caitlin said, my name's Liz White. I'm the statewide swimming coordinator for the Department of Education. And I'd like to give you an overview of the funding that's available to schools in 2021. So as we move to the first slide, thanks, Caitlin. Swimming and water safety is new to the Victorian curriculum. It became part of the curriculum in 2017. And since 2017 until now, so the end of 2020, the Victorian Government has committed $35 million to supporting swimming and water safety education. This funding has gone towards two initiatives. The Swimming in Schools initiative, which is funding to support the delivery of swimming and water safety programs in Victorian Government primary and specialist schools, as well as in Victorian Catholic primary schools. The second initiative that this funding supports is the Public Water Safety Initiative, and this is funding that goes to Life Saving Victoria to deliver resources and professional development to both the education sector and the aquatic industry. The objectives of this funding, just onto the next. Yep, thanks, Caitlin. The objectives of this funding is to increase the delivery of the Victorian Water Safety Certificate program by schools and the aquatic industry. It's to improve the data collection for competencies and participation rates of students. It's also to ensure that schools deliver high quality, cost-effective swimming and water safety programs, and also so that there's an understanding by schools and within the aquatic industry in relation to the support and the resources that are available to them. Now, as you know, 2020 has been a pretty horrendous year. The impact of bushfires and COVID-19 has been that most schools have not been able to deliver their swimming and water safety programs. As a result, the funds that have not been expended, but the swimming in schools funds that haven't been expended in 2020 will be carried forward to 2021. So those funds you will be able to use those funds to deliver programs in 2021. In addition to this, on the 24th of November, the Victorian Government handed down its state budget. And within that budget, it committed a further $11.2 million to swimming and water safety education. These funds support the same two initiatives, the Swimming in Schools initiative, as well as the Public Water Safety initiative. The funds cover an 18-month period from January 2021 through to June 2022. In terms of how much this funding actually is for each school, the Financial Services Division has advised that it needs to wait for the February census enrolments to be provided before they can calculate the per student rate for swimming and water safety education. The confirmed SRP amounts will be provided to Victorian Government schools in the last week of Term 1 in 2021. So in summary, in 2021, the schools that weren't able to undertake their programs in 2020 will have both the 2020 funds that have been carried forward to next year, as well as the newly secured 2021 funds. For schools that were able to run their programs in 2020, they'll have the new 2021 funding and they'll know how much that is at the end of Term 1 next year. So Helen and Tracy, do either of you have any questions at this stage in relation to the funding?
No, thank you.
No, I'm okay.
Terrific, thank you both. I'll hand over to Caitlin now to take you through some program designs.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Liz. And really, really key information there, especially the one where Liz mentioned that we can carry out the 2020 funding that we received this year. Any unused 2020 funding can be used in 2021 as well. Now, I did just receive a message in the chat saying that somebody is unable to see or hear anything. I believe that we are able to see in here. I just want to confirm with Tracy and Helen that you can see and hear me. If there are any issues, I'll see if I can fix those up. But if I could have a yes, you can hear me, if you want to unmute or give me a thumbs up, if you want to show us your screen.
Yes, I can hear you fine, Caitlin.
Fantastic, thanks Tracy. So if you are unable to see or hear anything during this webinar, a great thing to do is just to leave the webinar, jump straight back in. We do recommend that you have this on Chrome, as that seems to be the best site to be viewing this on. It seems to work quite well, but do jump off and jump back on again. If you do have any issues further on from that, do remember that we will be recording this webinar, so you can come back and watch this at any time. Okay, thanks again to Liz for discussing the funding for 2021. Very exciting there, and great news that we can carry on that unused 2020 funding into next year as well. So we'll jump straight on now to some different ways that we can actually utilise this funding. So this is the big question. Obviously, we do get an amount of funding that we can use for all the students in our schools to support the swimming and water safety programs that your school develops and implements. Now, there are a couple of different ways you can implement a swimming and water safety program. You can have practical and wet programs, or you can have, or you can have dry programs there as well. So they're not excluded from each other, they're not exclusive from each other, they can be worked in together to create a really, really effective swimming and water safety program. Now, we will have a couple of goals in 2021. As Liz mentioned before, and as we all know, 2020 has been a very challenging year, and it has meant that many of our swimming programs have had to have been cancelled throughout the year. So 2021 is going to be a big year to make sure we get as many students in the water completing swimming lessons as possible. We want to utilise our funding in the most efficient and effective way possible. And we also want to follow our shared mission of preventing aquatic-related injury and drownings. So there are our three main goals heading into 2021. Now, when we think about using our funding, some schools may have particular programs that you follow year after year after year, and if it works for you, that's fantastic. But we're here today to give you some more ideas as well, if you want to add to your existing program, if you want to change it up a bit, or if after 2020 you want to revamp it so that more of your students get that opportunity to be in the water, practicing their swimming and water safety skills and knowledge. So I'm going to take you through a couple of case studies now. Our first case study is by Glenallen School, and the footage that you will see in this case study was taken a couple of years ago, so back in early 2019, I believe it was, but we have been able to put this together during this year, and we have been in contact with Glen Ellen School as well to get any updates from what they are up to at the moment since the footage was taken, to make sure this this case study is as up to date as possible. So you may view this case study, and the 2 case studies that we will show you today will be available on our toolkit by the end of this week if you wish to view them again as well. But take a few ideas from this, see if there are any similarities to your program, see if there are any things that you want to add to your program from Glen Ellen School's Swimming and Water Safety program. So I will start this off now, and hopefully you can hear all the audio. Okay, so there is our first case study from Glen Allen School. Some great little bits in there, especially the bits of information where Valerie shared that her school does participate in carnival days with other schools as well. That's something we'll be touching on a bit later on as well, as it is a great opportunity for you to interact with other schools in different settings after the students have been able to complete some swimming lessons in a familiar environment like the school pool or like a swim school or aquatic facility close by your school where your students do attend. So there are some sorts of things that you can think about that you could utilise your funding by developing these sorts of programs and these opportunities for your students outside of their typical swimming program at your school or at an aquatic facility nearby. So our next case study is by Burwood East Special Development School. Now you'll see in this case study some similarities as well as some differences. So it provides a great opportunity for you to pick up some ideas for some extra things that you could include in your swimming and water safety program, maybe some things that you do already or wish to improve on, but a great thing to reflect on while watching the clip.
In Burwood East, we are essentially a very small school with about 75 students of different ability groups, ranging from Down syndrome, children with Down syndrome, students with autism, or even physical disability, but essentially they are mildly intellectually disabled. And with lots of different kinds of conditions that we have to cater to their learning needs as well. Yeah. The main focus for our program essentially is the water safety, and it's really critical for children and students, especially our students where a lot of them, or rather all of them, have special needs of different kinds and abilities. So essentially we want to make sure that they know what to do in times of danger around water, whether it's in a pool or it's outdoors, at the lakes, ponds, seaside. We just started this program, So therefore, we prioritize our graduating students to be in this program first, and then subsequently we're looking at how we can expand this program to reach out to the other population, the remainder of the schools. Yeah, but essentially we would hope that we aim to have all our students be water safe, be equipped with the skills. Yeah, one key challenge that we have experienced is that we do not have our own in-house swimming facility, and that's really tough because even though we have other swimming special needs schools that have the facility, they would need that facility for their own students. So the only alternative that we have is to engage either private swim schools or recreation centers that with swimming facility. And we were really lucky and blessed that there is a swimming facility, a recreation center, Ashburton Recreation Center, that's able to accommodate us and work with us. And it's really a nice feat because they are autism swim certified coaches with programs that really cater to our needs and able to work with our trained staff members. Yeah. Essentially, the funding goes into subsidizing or rather paying for the pool entrance and the coaching hours with the recreation center for our students. Our school, it's within a network called the Eastern School Sports Network. That's where teachers gather, meet, and then discuss about the best practices or share about some challenges, and then everyone just pick on each other's brains and try to offer some solutions and all that. And that's also the avenue where our students actually, through this network of exchange and connection, we are able to engage our students to participate in each other's school's program, to find each. That's also an avenue where teachers get to attend workshops and all that. Yeah, and word of mouth. For example, Life Savings Victoria, we're able to get contacted through this network.
Okay, so our case study by Burwood East Special Development School there, providing a lot of information. They also spoke about how they are part of a network of multiple schools. You may be part of a network at your school whereby you can hold regular meetings and discuss your swimming and water safety programs, your physical education programs, and also coming together to have those carnival days or those special experience days at either a surf beach or a normal beach, or even I know there was a surf experience for one of the at a wave pool for the school at Glen Ellen. So lots of opportunities there if you do come together with other schools. It's always a great idea. And Lifesaving Victoria are actually always available to come to your network meetings if you wish for us to present any particular topic, or if you'd just like to give a general overview of some fantastic ideas for your swimming and water safety program. So something to keep in mind as well for future events. Another great thing that was mentioned in that Burwood East SDS video was that they spend their funding, they do not have a pool on site, so they do spend their funding on pool entry, as well as paying for the coaching of the swimming instructors at Ashburton Centre. So this is something that we do see a lot, and we have been hearing a lot of feedback from special development schools about what you guys want to use your funding for and what some challenges are for your schools and for your teachers when it comes to your swimming and water safety education program. And we have just had a question pop up here. Whereabouts on the toolkit will this be uploaded to? We do have our webinar recordings page. That's if you jump up onto the toolkit, it is the very last tab along the top of the screen, I believe, and that will take you straight to the webinars and recordings page there. So jumping straight back into this one, no worries. We'll head to the next page here. So a great option for you to utilise your funding with is to gain your Teacher of Swimming and Water Safety Education qualifications. Therefore, this allows you to actually travel with your students to a pool, or even host your swimming programs if you have a pool on site at your own school using your own qualifications. Now, obviously, you are the teacher of these students. You are the one who knows your students best. And this may be a perfect opportunity for you to be in the pool teaching to your students' individual needs with these qualifications. So you can actually spend your funding on getting qualified to teach swimming and water safety yourself. Now, this may be an option for a few teachers at your school, so it's a great thing to think about leading into 2021, when swimming and water safety will be quite an important focus of next year. Now, Lifesaving Victoria will actually be developing and offering a RPL course, which is a recognition of prior learning, next year for specialist school teachers. Now, this will be a bit of a pilot or trial program that we will be running, so we will have more information leading into next year and throughout next year. And basically what this recognition of prior learning course does is it recognises that you as teachers already have your qualifications for teaching children. It simply takes that understanding of you having that qualification and that understanding, that prior learning, and it just teaches you the Teacher of Swimming and Water Safety Education side of things. So teaching you how to teach swimming and water safety programs, essentially. So it is a shortened course, a condensed course compared to the usual Teacher of Swimming and Water Safety Education course, because it does recognise that you have got that experience and that knowledge of teaching children. So that might be something that you are really interested in, and after our trials and pilot programs next year, this may be something that continues on, but please do get in contact with us if you are interested in this, and we will have more information next year about how this goes. Now, another thing to think about, and something that may have popped up in a couple of those videos, especially Glen Ellen School's case study, is that funding can also cover the purchase of swimming equipment. So you may have some students who need some assistance to enter the pool. We saw that in Glen Ellen. They had something installed at their pool to allow those students to be able to access the pool in a safe way. So that's something else that your funding can be spent on as well. Definitely something to keep in mind. Perhaps we know that some pools are actually being refurbished at the moment, especially during the lockdown period. While everybody was learning from home, we have heard from a few schools that their pools were being refurbished. So this may be something to consider for next year with that funding. Another thing that you may choose to spend your funding on is a swimming carnival or a nippers carnival. Now, this was definitely mentioned a couple of times in those case studies. A great opportunity to not only get your schools involved in other schools, being able to network, being able to get your students, meeting other students, connecting with different schools in the area, all about that, but also taking your students to a different experience, to a different environment than the swimming pool itself. So all the skills and the knowledge that they have developed through your swimming and water safety program that they have learned at the pool, they can then take this to a different environment, and you can teach them the same skills or even build on those skills in that new, possibly more challenging environment. This allows them, and it was mentioned in one of the videos, it allows them to get comfortable in community spaces whereby swimming might be an activity that is performed at that space. So like a wave pool, like a beach, anything like that. It could be an inland waterway. Take your students out, bring together multiple schools. Then you've got that support of other schools as well. And it's a great day for everyone being able to really practice those swimming skills in a social environment. So really, really important there. When you're creating this, think about your objective for the day. So do you want to practice rescue skills? Do you want to practice skills in a particular environment to get students exposed to that environment and perhaps some of the challenges or risks that they may face in that environment as well? So to get them familiar and learning the safe way to participate in that type of water environment. Now, anything that you are thinking of, whether it is a swimming carnival or a nippers carnival, LSV are always here to help you organise this as well, to give you some ideas, to provide resources to assist you with developing these programs. So please don't hesitate to get in touch if you would like some help with developing these sorts of add-on programs to the end of your swimming lessons. Now, we do also at LSV have a program called the OWL program. Now, this is our open water learning experience. Your school may have already participated in this program. It is a really, really great program, very similar to something that you would think about for an excursion or a carnival day or something like that. It takes the students out of that familiar pool setting after they have completed their swimming lessons, and it takes them to an open water location. So it takes the skills and knowledge they have developed in their swimming lessons, and it takes them to that new open water environment where they can practice those skills and even build on those as well. It really focuses on those rescue skills, survival skills, and those sorts of things. So really quality, lifelong learning to keep the students safe in those open water environments. Now, it is important to note that this is an add-on. So swimming programs, we do encourage you to host swimming programs that meet the curriculum requirements. This would be an add-on at the end of your program. So just something to build on those skills that the students have practiced. It is an evidence-based program. It's reviewed annually in many different regions around Victoria. It can be offered as a half day or a full day program and can also be part of a carnival option as well. There are a range of activities covering all different aquatic environments. Now, this can be delivered by trained LSV staff, or you do have the option of getting in contact with us to think about your partner delivery option. So you can be trained to deliver this to your students yourself as well. It can be taught in a whole range of environments, whether that's a beach if that's close by to you, it can be a surf beach even, an inland waterway, but it can also be taught in a pool as well. So it really takes all those skills and important things that students would need to know in an open water environment and brings it to that pool environment. So depending on your student needs, depending on what available space you have and where your school is situated, a pool may be the best environment to you to complete this program in, but it is available at all different types of environments nearby you. We have had a range of a whole great number of students participate in this program. We had over 19,000 participate in this from 2018 to 2019, and over 17,800 students participate over the 2019 and 2020 period there as well. And we've had some great feedback. So definitely something to think about if you would like something a little bit different that can be an add-on to the end of your swimming program. Another option is for you to book a knowledge-based program with your funding. Now, one particular program that LSV offers is our Sink or Swim program. You may have heard of this program before. It is, again, research-based and it's reviewed annually. It can range from a 45-minute program to a 1-hour program and includes a range of activities covering all aquatic environments again, and it all comes from the expertise of a trained lifesaver. Now, for both these programs, the OWL program and the Sink or Swim program, LSV will come to you to target your particular group of students. So the programs range all the way from your A level all the way to a Year 10 level. So we can really adjust this program to suit the needs, all the individual needs of your students and your unique school environment as well. Now, again, this can be delivered by LSV, or you do have the option of getting in contact with us to explore a partner delivery option, which could be a great idea for your school. And we've had many numbers with this as well. We had over 22,000 participate in 2018-2019 and over 15,000 participate in 2019-2020. So definitely something to look into there. Another option that you may utilise your funding with, or even explore something a little bit different for your students, is a dry-based virtual visit. So perhaps before you head to a water-based environment, or if you're heading to a new environment for a carnival day or an excursion, or just a visit, perhaps to a farm or a river or a beach or a lake or even the pool itself, a great idea is to plan a virtual visit. So get in contact with your local pool, your local surf club, your local fishing club, boating club, anything like that. Even get in contact with us at LSV and we can help you find these types of organisations, and you can get in contact with these guys and plan a virtual visit. So they could pop into your school virtually. I know we know all about that now after 2020 and learning remotely. And they can answer questions that your students may have. They can give a little introduction about what the students may be about to experience if you are taking them outside to a different water-based environment. They can give them a tour of an environment. It's just that extra way to help the students see what they may experience and try something new as well, and ask any questions that they may have. So definitely look into the different organisations that are around your community, or you may even want to go even further. You may want to explore something that is very far away from your local community for students to get an idea of the different water-based environments around Victoria. So perhaps if you're in metropolitan Melbourne, you could get in contact with an organisation in regional Victoria, such as a farm. You could have somebody who runs fishing programs in a lake, something different like that that students may have not experienced before. But a great opportunity for you to get in contact with these organisations, build that rapport and that relationship, and assist students in developing their understanding before heading into perhaps an excursion or something like that. Another option that you have is to deliver a classroom-based program. Now, Lifesaving Victoria have a lot of different resources. These are all absolutely free as well on our toolkit. So we have our virtual reality programs and our virtual reality tours available to you. They are absolutely free, and you certainly don't need to have any VR headsets to be able to run these virtual reality tours or excursions. I can put in the link to the toolkit into the chat in a moment or towards the end of this webinar so that you can have a look through our toolkit and see the different resources that are available there. Another fantastic resource that is very brand new that we developed in 2020 at the start of remote learning is our Water Safety at Home suite. So this suite has a range of different resources, mostly videos and activity booklets that go alongside those videos, teaching all things swimming, water safety, life-saving, CPR and first aid, a whole range of different things. And they range from 10-minute videos to 45-minute sessions and activities. Now, these are great for before lessons, so students you may have a focus for your program and you may be able to select a video or two to show your students before their program. It could help assist what they are learning during their program to consolidate their learning, maybe from a particular day, or even after the program to sort of summarise exactly what they've learnt, the knowledge and the skills that they have developed during their water safety program. So what I'm going to do now is show you a couple of clips from what you can expect from a couple of the videos in our Water Safety at Home suite. The first one is from our water safety, and I've forgotten the name of it, that's terrible. You may see a familiar face in there as well, but I'll show you a clip. These clips are about 10 minutes long and they come with activity booklets that support them. And you'll also see our swimming at home clip, just a short clip there. Again, these are fairly short, probably around 15 minutes long, that cover a range of different topics in a variety of different environments as well.
Hi boys and girls, we're visiting somewhere new today. Do you know where this is? It's a river, well done. Have you ever visited a river before? Maybe you've been all the way up north of Victoria to visit the Murray River. Or maybe you've seen the Yarra River, which flows straight through the middle of Melbourne.
Okay, it's always strange watching yourself on camera there, but that is our Water Safety Watch and Learn series. So there are 4 episodes that have our magnetic boards there, which are great. They really show the visual side of the different water-based environments and really talk to these. We ask questions to the students who can answer them back. And we also have a couple of really great activity booklets that students can complete while watching this, as well as after watching these clips. So nice, quick 10-minute videos that are great and explore different water-based environments. Next, I'll show you this swimming, just a little clip from Swimming at Home.
Sun damage can even occur on cloudy days, not just hot and sunny days. But we can prevent sun damage by being sun smart. Now, being sun smart can involve 2 things. Number 1 is you can check the UV online before you go outside. Number 2 is you can follow the sun smart rule: slip, slop, slap, seek, and slide. And that's what we're going to learn about today.
Okay, so they're just a couple of video options there. We have a whole range in our Water Safety at Home suite, so a great thing to check out. I'll pop that link in at the end of the chat as well, at the end of the webinar as well, in that chat function there. Now you can get in contact with us to discuss the possibility of hosting some live sessions if you would like us to target your school, your students, using a particular topic that you're focusing on. Don't hesitate to get in contact with us and we will see what we can do in regards to live sessions or even pre-recorded videos specifically for your students and your topics there. So a great thing to think about as well. Okay, a couple of tips and tricks for your programs in 2021. So firstly, of course, utilise your unused 2020 funding. Secondly, get trained. Think about using your funding to get those Teacher of Swimming and Water Safety qualifications in. Not just you, maybe a few teachers at your school, and this will allow you to teach your programs yourselves. Perhaps you have a pool on site. You can certainly teach your programs with that on-site pool, or you can even rent out some lanes at a local pool that you may hire there. So that's a great opportunity for you to utilise the funding. I know at many schools you have a lot of programs. Your programs run a lot more frequently than other schools. Perhaps you have a lesson every week. Okay, so that might be a great opportunity for you to get trained so that you can be the one delivering those lessons. Now think about prioritising your students or classes who missed out on lessons in 2020, and really think about those senior students who it may be their final year this year, so their final opportunity to really experience their swimming and water safety lessons. So that might be what you think about. Ensure you're meeting curriculum requirements. Make sure you read up on the Victorian curriculum and see what it says about swimming and water safety in your physical education section there. And also think about delivering a progressive program. Now, obviously, swimming programs at specialist schools, they tend to run from the very early years, so first year of school, right up to the senior years as well, which is fantastic. Think about how you can really progress this program. You might start with theory-based programs in your junior levels, moving into then practical water familiarisation activities in the pool, then moving into some themed years such as heading to the beach, learning about farms, inland waterways and water safety at home. So think about how you can make your program progressive from the junior levels right up to the senior levels as well. So you're really getting the most you can get out of those years and really building on their knowledge each year and their skills each year as well. Be as flexible as possible with your 2021 programs, especially if you're hiring out an aquatic facility, some lanes, or you're booking in to have swimming teachers teach your children at the aquatic facilities. As we know that 2021 will be a very busy year for aquatic facilities, so they may be booked out quite early, and we really want those students getting in the water, especially those who missed out this year. So think about how you can be flexible with the timings of your program. Maybe you can run them in the morning. Perhaps parents could take their children to the pool in the mornings, and the school bus could then take them back to the school after their program. And could be the other way around. The school bus could take the students to the pool in the afternoon, and the parents may collect their students at the end of the day from the pool. Think about where it could fit best, so that you can really make the most of your 2021 program and schedule it in with your local aquatic facility there. Think about teaching water safety skills in the classroom. Don't just leave swimming and water safety to the pool. You can certainly teach this in the classroom as well. And Lifesaving Victoria have developed a range of resources, some of which you've just seen there, which allow you to teach the water safety skills and knowledge in the classroom. Then you can make the most of the in-pool swimming lessons at the pool, and students get all that time in the water to practice their swimming skills. So a few ideas there. If you have any other tips or tricks that you're thinking about as well, don't hesitate to pop them in the chat. We'd love to read about them and share them with each other as well. Now, taking our webinar in a different direction now, Water Safety Week did wrap up a couple of weeks ago. So it was in the first week of December, and you may have heard or even seen that Lifesaving Victoria or the Swimming and Water Safety Education team popped in a couple of supervision ducks into the Docklands Marina on Thursday, the 3rd of December. Now, these ducks do come with a very, very important message. Obviously, 2020 has been a challenging year. Many school swimming lessons and many private swimming lessons were cancelled, meaning that many students missed out on getting their really vital experience in the water. So this summer, we are really pushing and promoting the importance of adult supervision of children around water. So that's why you'll see these ducks hanging around some different areas in Victoria. So they are named Delilah and Dennis. Dennis, the little menace, the little duck down there, and Delilah making sure she is supervising him at all times. Now, the exciting thing is that we are having Delilah and Dennis available to visit your event or your school in 2021. If you have anything on, anything important, you are more than welcome to have Delilah and Dennis at your school for a particular event by contacting us at lsv.com.au. So that email address on screen there. Now, you don't need to have a pool or water or lake or anything like that. These two ducks can be installed on dry land as well. But if you think it's really important to get that message out there and to share this with your parents as well, a great opportunity for you to invite the school community over to the school if you want to have Delilah and Dennis come for a visit. And that brings us to the end of the webinar and does give us an opportunity to address any questions that we have in the chat. So I will just have a look here. And if you do have any questions at the moment, please don't hesitate to pop them in there. I think quite a few people have had to head straight to a meeting, which is absolutely fine. This webinar will be recorded and we will send out an email with all the links to the recordings later this week. And also it will be on our toolkit under our recordings and webinars or PD section there. So I think that answers one of the questions where it is added to, but if there are any other questions, there aren't many people on at the moment, so you can unmute your microphone and share your questions if you wish. I'll give you a few seconds to do so. While you are thinking about any questions that you may have, I'll pop on our contact us details there. So you can contact us at Lifesaving Victoria by emailing schoolswimming@lsv.com.au or calling 9676 6940 at any time. You can also contact DET by emailing school.swimming@education.vic.gov.au. I'll just jump back to this slide as well, as I would like to say to everybody who is in our meeting at the moment, but also those watching, a very, very, very big thank you for your ongoing support and commitment to swimming and water safety in 2020. We do understand that it has been a very challenging year, but it has been fantastic to see how many of you have been in contact with us to see how you can still support your students develop their vital swimming and water safety skills and knowledge this year, as we do know that it is lifelong learning. It's so crucial that we get our children and our students experienced in this space. And so we thank you for your ongoing support in this area and also your commitment to ensuring that we can prevent drowning-related injury and deaths in our children by really teaching them all the vital skills and knowledge when it comes to swimming and water safety education. So I say that on behalf of everyone at Lifesaving Victoria. I'd also like to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas, a happy end of term 4, happy school holidays, and a very happy and safe new year. And we look forward to 2021 and everything that it brings. We will, of course, be here the whole holidays. If you have any emails that you want to send through, if you are after any support, information or anything at all, we will still be able to be contacted during school holidays over the Christmas period and heading into 2021 as well. If you do have any more questions, we will hang about for another, say, 5 minutes if you do wish to pop them in the chat. But I do wish to say a very, very big thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next time.